All right, everyone, buckle up. We're hopping on a virtual open-top bus today for a deep dive into Rome.
Rome. A city that's a living museum, practically.
You know it. And for this deep dive, we're not just hitting the typical tourist spots. We're going deeper.
Exactly. We've got some great material to work with. Think of it as peeling back the layers, going beyond the postcard views.
I like that, peeling back the layers. So first stop, imagine our bus is pulling into this bustling piazza, the Piazza della Repubblica.
Beautiful spot, and that fountain right in the middle, hard to miss that.
It really is. Those sculptures, the nymphs,
Yeah.
so intricate. Each one represents a different water source, right?
That's right. But here's the thing, they weren't always there. It's actually kind of a funny story.
Oh.
Yeah, originally, Pope Pius IX, back in the 1870s, he wanted something much simpler.
Simpler, you mean?
Just some lion statues. But later on, those were replaced by the nymphs you see today. The work of Mario Rutelli, a sculptor.
Rutelli. The name rings a bell.
Well, maybe because his great-grandson, Francesco Rutelli, ended up becoming the mayor of Rome. How about that for a connection?
It's like the fountain itself spans different eras of the city.
Yeah.
Amazing. But what about that big sculpture in the center? The Glauco group.
Ah, that one's all about symbolism. You see, Glauco, he's this mythical figure representing man's dominance over nature.
Dominance over nature. Interesting.
Yeah, and it wasn't just an artistic choice. It reflected a whole philosophy. The Romans, they saw themselves as masters of their world, And you can see it everywhere in their engineering, their art.
It makes you wonder, how different their worldview was from ours. All right, next stop. Let's imagine our bus is winding through the streets, heading to the Basilica of St. Mary Major.
Ah, Our Lady of the Snows. I bet that nickname got your attention.
Definitely did. Snow in Rome. Didn't sound right.
It's a legend from way back in the 4th century. Picture this. It's August, the hottest month.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine.
And suddenly snow falls on the Esquiline Hill.
Snow in August.
That's what they say. And that same night, there is this wealthy Roman couple, couldn't have children. They had a vision of the Virgin Mary.
And she told them to build a basilica right there.
Well, the snow was seen as a divine message, really. And the name, Our Lady of the Snows, it stuck. Even showed up in the Roman Missal, the book for Catholic Mass, for centuries.
Really? Wow. It's amazing how these stories become part of a place.
No.
Okay, speaking of legends, our next stop is a pretty legendary place.
Get ready, folks. The Colosseum.
I've seen pictures, obviously, but to actually imagine it, 65,000 people, gladiators fighting.
Ah.
It must have been something else.
Oh, it wasn't just gladiators, though. They had all kinds of spectacles, wild animal hunts, reenactments, even mock naval battles.
Mock naval battles inside the Colosseum.
Inside, imagine trying to stage that today.
Seriously.
Oh,
I mean,
right.
it really makes you think, how would they see our entertainment? Would they be impressed or bored out of their minds?
Good question. Maybe they love our special effects, but miss the realness, the danger of it all.
The Roman Forum and Palatine Hill. That's next, right?
Coming right up, get ready to be wowed. Because even though it's mostly ruins now, you gotta imagine,
Oh, I am trying.
it was the center of everything. Back in the day, emperors, senators, regular folks, all mingling.
It must have been a sight.
It was. Temples everywhere, dedicated to all the Roman gods. Basilicas, where they made laws and, decided things.
And those triumphal arches celebrating victories and all that.
Exactly. They loved a good parade. But it wasn't all pomp and circumstance either. They had markets, shops, all the stuff of everyday life.
So it wasn't just for the elite then?
Not at all. The Forum was for everyone. They had markets for food, for clothes, anything you can think of. And their infrastructure, don't even get me started.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about the Cloaca Maxima, their sewer system.
The what?
The Cloaca Maxima. And guess what? Parts of it are still working today.
Seriously? They had sewers back then that are still functional.
The Romans, man, they were ahead of their time. And it makes you think, when you're walking through the Forum, you're not just seeing stones, you're seeing how they live their lives.
It's like a window into the past.
So cool. Okay. Okay, from ancient sewers to, well, a rather grand tomb, Castel San Angelo.
Ah, yes. Emperor Hadrian's final resting place. Or at least that's how it started.
You mentioned he had a flair for the dramatic.
I mean, this is the same guy who built the Pantheon. Of course, his tomb had to be something special. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But how did it end up as, a castle? With the angel on top and everything.
Well, that statue has a story behind it. 590 AD, there was this terrible plague in Rome.
A plague. Yikes.
And Pope Gregory I, he had a vision. Saw the Archangel Michael standing on top of the mausoleum, sheathing his sword.
Wow. Talk about a sign.
Right. It was seen as a sign that the plague was ending. And they renamed the mausoleum Castel Sant'Angelo after the Archangel.
So it went from a tomb to a symbol of hope.
Pretty much. And over the years, it's been all sorts of things. A fortress, a prison, even a papal residence. Connected to the Vatican by a secret passage, too.
You're kidding. A secret passage? That's amazing. I swear every stop on this tour is full of surprises.
Well, that's Rome for you. Always something unexpected around the corner.
I'm loving it. What's next on our itinerary? Well, our virtual bus is pulling back into Piazza della Repubblica, where we started. It's amazing how much we've seen, even though it's all been virtual.
It really is. And we didn't even get to everything. Rome is one of those cities you could visit 100 times and still find new things.
You know, one thing that struck me is how connected everything is. It's not just a bunch of random sites. It all weaves together, you know? Like, who knew the Trevi Fountain was a subtle nod to Roman naval power?
Right. Or that the shape of Piazza Navona comes from an ancient stadium. It's all about the layers, the history behind every corner.
That legend about Our Lady of the Snows, that one really got to me. It has a whole other dimension to the Basilica of St. Mary Major.
It reminds you that Rome isn't just about emperors and battles. It's about faith, legends, the human side of history, too.
It's true. And those monuments, the Colosseum, the Pantheon, they're not just like empty shells. They're filled with stories.
They are. Stories of the people who built them, the people who lived and died in their shadow. It's what makes Rome so powerful, so evocative.
And you can't help but think about the Romans' legacy, right? Their architecture, their engineering, their impact on, well, everything, really.
And it makes you wonder, what will people say about our cities centuries from now? Will they be digging up our skyscrapers, marveling at our subways?
Now that's a thought. Imagine someone in the future taking a virtual tour of New York City or London, trying to figure us out.
Who knows? Maybe they'll have even better technology than we do. But for now, we have Rome. A city that never gets old, no matter how many times you visit, virtually or in person.
Couldn't agree more. Well, to our listener out there, we hope this virtual tour has inspired you to explore Rome further. We've just scratched the surface, but hopefully it's enough to spark your curiosity.
Remember, Rome is a city best explored slowly, with an open mind and a sense of wonder. Take your time, soak it all in.
Exactly. There's a story behind every cobblestone, every fountain, every crumbling wall. And those stories are waiting to be discovered.
So happy exploring. And until next time, keep on learning, keep on questioning, and keep on peeling back those layers of history.
That's a wrap, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this Roman adventure. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.